All right, everyone, welcome to another community update with the Zengate team for the month of October. And we have quite a few topics to cover, but the main one that we would like to talk about is focus a little bit more on the IDO, on the Ergo side, that is going to happen through ErgoPad. Dan, do you want to start by giving us some more details on what that means? We know that we did have dates announced, but we had to hold off because few things came up that we had to make sure that everything is good in terms of KYC and all the processes. Just give us an update of how things are looking and what is going to happen in the next coming weeks.
Yeah, so we had dates that we originally communicated to the community. The reason why we didn't go as scheduled was because we needed to tie up some legal framework, which is actually it's necessary. It is a must-have for doing a proper IDO. It's for the protection of everybody participating in the IDO, for the entity as well as for the participants in the IDO. That was mainly the reason behind the delay. Now we do have everything in place. The IDO is basically slated to go very, very shortly. In fact, in the next couple of days, we'll have dates for the IDO coming up. The good thing is that the legal lackings that we have found when we did a thorough legal analysis of what the IDO is going to look like can actually be repeated for other IDOs later down the line. For example, the Cardano IDO we're going to be doing later down the line that can also be repeated. So that could actually go pretty quickly and have the same protection for people investing in the IDO as we will have for the participants of this IDO. I know that people are looking to do this, and we highly appreciate that. We are ecstatic that we are getting such great outpour of support, such great interest from the community. This IDO will absolutely be huge for us and for Palmyra and for Zengate, and making sure that we are delivering on schedule and with maximum efficiency on the milestones that we have laid out in the roadmap. And again, really huge thanks to the community for your support, for your patience. I believe that once this starts going, you're going to be very happy.
Awesome. Thank you, Dan. We published our white paper, the Palmyra white paper, and we also published the PALM tokenomics. Sam, do you want to touch base a little bit about the utility of the token, how things will look like, and maybe touch on a little bit around the vesting, TGE, and all the information around this?
The PALM tokenomics, we believe, is quite unique and innovative in its approach compared to what we've seen with other projects in the past. So firstly, we've built a unique rebate system. So a lot of businesses, when they do contracts with each other, have the option to claim various rebates. So we've built that into our token economics, which will allow token holders and those participating in the PALM token economy to actually have claim to these rebates, which is effectively a recycling of protocol fees. We believe that's quite a unique utility that you don't typically see in other types of projects, and it's very much necessary for the stuff that we're trying to do, because it is B2B focused, it is transaction focused, and it's important for the scaling of the economy itself. So that's something that's really important. The other bit that is quite unique as well is a lot of projects that have emissions which are time-based. Our emissions schedule is usage-based, so it really depends on the scaling of the platform and the usage of the platform itself. And we believe that's extremely important. A lot of the vesting schedule for the non-contribution side, so whether that's the incentives or the team allocation, it's all based on that usage-based schedule as well. So basically, the more the platform gets used, the emissions itself get affected, as opposed to saying, every month, this is what the emissions looks like. As for the vesting, for those contributing to the various rounds, all of the round contributors and participants have the same vesting schedule. Right now, it's been set at 30 months. And the TG itself, so the token launch date, is scheduled to be in early Q3. Yeah, a lot of stuff that's going to happen in between, lots of platform activity, onboarding buyers, onboarding new producers, platform upgrades, a great opportunity to basically build it all out so that once TG hits, got utility from day one, and those that are participating in the token economy really get the benefit from it as well. So our platform's live. We've got a lot of work still to do to keep upgrading it, but we're very excited about what it's going to look like in Q3 next year.
Now, Sam, in terms of the IDO and when people will invest in it, do you mind explaining us how is this going to work? Are people going to get the tokens in their wallet as soon as they invest the money? How is that going to look like, the whole process?
That's an excellent question. And too much of the way different raises have worked in the past has been based on trust that's probably not well deserved or well placed. And a lot of projects have raised money, millions and millions of dollars, and never returned a token or delivered anything. So we've taken a very different approach. Like I said before, product before token. That's something we really live by. But even with the raise itself, we've been lucky to work with partners like Ergo, where they've got open source vesting contracts where the token itself sits in a smart contract and just vests based on the specified vesting period, which in our case is 30 months. So each day we're thinking about with daily unlocks, it'll just release over that period. It's all transparent. You can see exactly which tokens are available, which tokens have been vested, and that's not custodied by us. So once a round has passed and contributions have been made, these tokens will be transferred over to those that participated in it immediately, and we'll just follow the conditions around when the TG date is and how long the vesting period is. So I think that's the best way to do it. We're taking extra precautions with things like KYC and so whitelisting as well. But yeah, this is the way to go. This is the way projects should be doing stuff. We're very fortunate to have partners like Ergo who have really pushed this paradigm around transparency, around vesting, and around self-custody of these tokens.
Maybe another good question that people always, not always, but people usually ask, is the Palm token going to be minted on the Cardano blockchain? Is it going to be minting on Ergo? And how is this all going to work? Dan, do you mind giving us your insights?
So the way we're going to work it out with the two raises, one being on Cardano and one being on Ergo, is we're going to mint the bulk of the tokens on Cardano, and we're going to mint the tokens that are being offered through ErgoPad on Ergo. After which, when the token goes TGE, the participants in the ErgoPad IDO will have the opportunity to move the token over to Cardano, move the token over to the Cardano wallet, and so basically redeem it for a Cardano token. So that is the best and most secure way of doing it. We're also hoping to utilize RosenBridge for the move, and that should take care of a lot of the trust me bro situations that we don't want to have.
Another good question that we get asked a lot is there a specific reason why you decided to mint a token on the Cardano side? Is it because of the Cardano native assets capabilities? What was the thought process behind that?
Well, simply put, the Cardano network is larger, and we'll be able to then implement our Oracle network on the Cardano side in a more robust way, as well as the asset itself is just easier to kind of get listed, to integrate into other platforms. And again, this doesn't really have anything to do with one being better than the other. As far as technology goes, as far as utility goes, as far as the tooling and everything like that. It's all about the size of the network. And that is not to say that later down the line for our other iterations of our other products, we will not have a token on Ergo. And in fact, with the use of RosenBridge, we will have the opportunity to move these assets between these two ecosystems and have tokens on Ergo and on Cardano, and not really have to, worry about, where was this minted, because that's the only place that you can utilize these tokens. And I'm sure that good bulk of the community understands this process. But what we are going to do for the Ergo IDO is we're going to start with a whitelisting process that is going to go on for about a week. There are some countries that unfortunately cannot participate in the IDO just due to regulatory concerns in those jurisdictions. And yeah, we apologize for that. And after the whitelisting process is when the IDO actually starts, when the contribution period actually starts. So it looks like it's going to be a week of whitelisting and then 2 weeks, 2 weeks of contribution into IDO. Also, it's really important to mention that even though whitelisting is going to start a week before the actual contribution period of the IDO, you can still get whitelisted while the IDO is happening. It's just a matter of being able to take advantage of the available tokens and be able to purchase what you're looking to purchase through the IDO. Just about demand. But as far as there being a cutoff, there is no cutoff. It's not start whitelist and whitelist start IDO. It's start whitelist, start IDO, whitelist continues to the IDO, and it's just a matter of priority who gets there first. It's very important to mention that so that people have more transparency and more definition into the process. However, it's nothing, nothing out of the ordinary. It's just it's pretty standard IDO structure.
Dan, do you want to give us a little bit of an overview of what's going to happen in December in Sri Lanka, and what are the plans of building the minimum viable ecosystem there?
We have already started planning out and setting up the trip to Sri Lanka. And what that's going to be is several workshops with producers in Sri Lanka, with tea producers, to create the kind of the base layer of the minimum viable ecosystem blueprint that we were talking about when we were presenting the actual proposal. And so again, with the help of our associates, specialists that are going to be involved in this, like Joyce, like for example, Continuum Loop, we're going to be able to really kind of assess and quantify through these workshops what foundation is needed for this minimum viable ecosystem to occur in that particular sector. And then after that, of course, after our workshops, we're then going to kind of broaden it out and make it more so that it makes sense to just apply this in other regions. Yeah, the workshops in Sri Lanka are going to be, pretty extensive. We are going to have, as I said, many experts involved in this from both sides, from our side as well as from the Sri Lankan side. We will have updates for you from these workshops, constant updates, so you will know what's going on. We'll have photos, we'll have videos, we'll have chats with some of the participants. Yeah, it's going to be very exciting, and I think it's going to be really exciting for the community because this is not going to be done behind closed doors. This is going to be in the public eye. We are going to be accountable and are accountable to the community. We're going to keep the process as transparent as possible and make sure that you understand what we're doing.
Sam, do you want to touch on the Rosen progress?
We're very much on our way to hitting the first milestone that we'd set for Catalyst, which is the 4 workshops. At least from my involvement, what I've heard from them, it's been going really well. We've opened up the workshops now to the entire SBO community. Before we've been running specific working groups, but now it's quite open. The team's been very transparent around the way they've been drafting the incentives design and the tokenomics as well. There's a full plan basically being drafted out and being finalized right now. So they've been very busy. But Chef, I might just hand over to you so you can talk a little bit more about what to expect over the next few weeks at least.
For sure. So I've been facilitating all the workshops so far, and I'm working hand in hand with the Rosen team just to make sure that we can communicate and we can educate the community about what's going on around Rosen. Now, we already had 3 workshops. First one, we covered the tiered pricing and what are the criteria and how will that happen. We haven't come up to a conclusion yet, to a decision about it. We're still in discussions with the SPOs that are involved, and we will have quite a few surveys going out in the next coming weeks. That way we can capture all the data, everybody's opinion. This is not something that we're planning on doing again behind closed doors. We want to get everybody's participation, everybody's opinion, and have it as open as possible for as many SPOs as possible. The workshops are getting into a point that I think next week, actually, we're going to be having the 4th workshop, the second milestone for the proposal, the front-end proposal that we got funded. There is a lot of improvement and progress happening with the tokenomics, with the whole Watchers app, and in the coming workshops after, like on the 5th and 6th, in the coming workshops, we're going to be working hand in hand with all the SPOs on how to start using the tool, and how to onboard themselves and how to set it up and give them time to play around with it. And one of the most important actually things is that as they check it out and they play around with it, they actually create content, so even more people can actually see it and set it up and learn more about it. Coming weeks, we will be having more workshops with all the SPOs. The more the merrier, and that's something that we'll try and make sure do a lot more and be more vocal about it, and communicate to more SPOs and make sure that we bring more awareness, because who doesn't want to get, with the same infrastructure, the same setup you have, you can actually make a new stream of income by securing RosenBridge. So this is the update around Rosen. There's a lot of progress happening and things are going to be moving quite fast. We're hoping there's going to be a roadmap that will be coming out in the next few weeks, and that will give everybody a clear picture of how things will be moving in the for the next months. I'm not sure if Sam or Dan, if there's anything else that you would like to add, if any last thoughts before we conclude this update.
Just quickly on the product side, we've got quite a few important feature upgrades that we'll be implementing or already have implemented and will be continuing to implement over the next few sprints. So yeah, we're sort of excited to get that out, make sure our Pioneer cohort get to test it and play around with it. So yeah, lots of pretty big upgrades that we're making. I can't disclose too much now, but when we sort of ship it, we'll be able to go into more detail around a few things, like the thinking around why we chose these partners, why we designed things in certain ways, and what that means as well for everyone else going forward, what that means for new markets, what that means for new buyers and sellers. So we're quite excited to stay so patient with us as we get these things implemented, and we'll be able to discuss in more detail shortly.
So from my end, actually, next month is going to be really exciting. So I'm going to be going, obviously, to the Cardano Summit, where I'm going to be speaking on a panel with several people, and one of whom is actually Miki from World Mobile. So really excited about that, as well as other panelists. Of course, we're going to have people from Empower. We're going to have people from the Cardano Foundation on the panel. So that's going to be really cool. And after that, I am going to be engaging with the Turkish market. And we're going to be speaking and basically setting up relationships with Turkish tea buyers, as well as participating in some events over there. So again, really exciting. A lot of movement next month, a lot of travel for me next month, probably about 2.5 weeks, almost 3 weeks of being on the road. I did buy extended legroom seats, so it's okay. I just need to lose weight from this way now, so that I fit in them better. Yeah, but overall, really exciting stuff coming up.
That was the update for this month. There's a lot of things that are coming in Q4 2023. There's going to be a roadmap that is going to be coming for 2024 at some point as well. So thank you all for tuning in, and we're really looking forward to catch up with you at the Cardano Summit or any other event or online.